It's the future. Your book has been published, and during your launch week, you open the Amazon app on your phone. Look up your book, and it's a best-selling book. The little orange banner is there to prove it. The allure of having a best-selling book is very compelling, but there is just something great about seeing that orange banner by your book listing telling you that you're a number one new release, or number one in your category, or maybe number one out of all the books on Amazon. Now, what it takes to get there may not be as difficult as you think it is. On today's episode, I'm going to walk you through how to get your book on the Amazon bestseller chart of your choosing and how to best leverage it to increase your authority. And be sure to stick around because at the end of the episode, we'll jump to your submitted questions. Today's question is about knowing your audience's problem or challenge. This is Your Path to Publish. I'm your host, Zach Christensen. For the past decade, our team has guided authors just like you to find the best path to publish your book, get people excited to buy it even before it launches, and to turn it into the ultimate business card to build your business and your legacy. If you are ready to get your book out of your head and into people's hands, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. So growing up, and I imagine it's more so this way for those who are looking to find their way after high school, is I would always challenge, is college really worth it? What does it mean to go to college, and why not just find something that makes more money? I was very money focused. I ended up going to get my undergrad, ended up getting a college degree, and what I've learned is no matter what degree you get, no matter what field you go into, you have to work hard and you have to be able to learn what you need to learn to be successful in whatever position at whatever company, or if you're starting your own business, that you need to do the work to be successful. So I thought a lot about what does it really mean to go to college then? What does it really mean to go down that path and come out with a diploma? One thing I've come to think of it as is it's a signal. It's a signal to yourself that you've accomplished something, but it's also a signal to people outside of that to know that you put in at least some effort, at least some hard work to show that you've earned something. That diploma, that graduation, that achievement is a signal. So relating this back to what does it mean for your book to become a bestseller? It's a signal that you've put in some degree of hard work of at least publishing a book, putting it out there, and enough people have been interested in it for it to rank on some type of bestseller list or have some type of signal that it can be trustworthy. And I think that's what really is behind what you should think about for a bestseller is it's a signal of some type of achievement. Now, depending on the type of bestseller it is, will impact the degree that splash that you can make with that signal. So today I want to walk you through thinking about what does it really mean to have a bestseller. So when you have a bestseller, it does mean that you've sold a certain number of books to qualify for a certain type of category. And this is very important for you as an author because it shows that you have outside individuals who've either purchased your book or maybe given a review on your book that's influenced enough people to buy it that it's a best-selling book. Now let's look at Amazon. Amazon has several different categories for how they measure and rank books. I like to put these in three basic areas: overall books, book categories or genres, and Amazon charts. Now, all of these lists have a general mix of not just print books, but audiobooks and ebooks as well. And it's really interesting to look at the charts in this way because audiobooks are growing. But let's go through each of these areas individually. Now, overall books. This is really the highest general category and includes all books, no matter the genre on Amazon. So this means that out of all the books that are sold on Amazon, this list shows the top 100. It's a dynamic list. It's updated every few hours, but those that usually make it on there are on there for a decent amount of time. Now, the other lists that are, I would say, in the overall list category. There's Amazon hot new releases, Amazon's most wished fors, movers and shakers, and movers and shakers are the biggest list gainers per sales volume over the past 24 hours. But if you can make it on the top 100 of any of these book lists, that is worth talking about. And that means it's factoring out any of the categories. It's the top 100 out of all books on Amazon. And if you make it to number one, that is something worth shouting from the rooftops. That basically means you're selling several thousand books every day. Let's go into book categories. Now, this gets into the genres classified by Amazon. This is the same as overall books as far as how many books they display around the top 100, but the list is dynamic and updates throughout the day. But this drills down more into the top books in categories such as fiction or nonfiction, business books, sci-fi books, mystery books, self-help books, and maybe stress, anxiety, whatever that is. You can drill down pretty far into 2, 3, maybe even 4 levels on Amazon categories. And within these lists as well, it has lists that include the new releases, most wished for lists. And then finally, there's the Amazon charts. This is more of a long-term tracking guide for books through Amazon. It tracks the top most sold books and most read books of the week, and it's broken down into fiction and nonfiction. So it's basically 4 different lists. They keep track of how long the books have also been on this list. How do you get on these lists? You may be wondering, it's an obvious question, right? How many books do I need to sell? And that's where it gets really interesting. So to start with you as the author, I would ask you, which category and list do you want to be on? Which would help give you credibility and authority with your target audience? Would it be overall books? Would it be a specific one in your chosen category? Would it be having an Amazon new release or being on the Amazon charts? The easiest is usually to get on an Amazon new release. There's a 6-week limit that all books can be on this list, and it starts from the day that your book launches through the following 6 weeks. After that, your book no longer qualifies as a new release. And to get on this list, it really all depends on your category. If you just are after an Amazon best-selling banner that you can take a screenshot and share with your social, put on your website, that is a legitimate goal. And it may not mean that you need to sell a large amount of books. And it also will depend on the format. Each category reflects print books and Kindle books and audiobooks, but they all get mixed in and meshed together. If you want to be ranked, then you need to know what ranking the current books are on that list and how many books you need to sell to get that ranking. I'm not going to go through that here, but I will say it could be as easy as 50 books sold within one day to be number one in a specific category. So really, it all depends on how you, if you're self-publishing, are going to categorize your book, how your traditional publisher or hybrid publisher categorizes your book. That will impact how easy it is for you to be on the list, the category or genre, to get you a number one Amazon bestseller. And the day that you do the push for that, you'll just have your Amazon app up, consistently looking at that list, refreshing every few hours to see if your book is moving up. If you want further help on understanding this, be sure to check out our class, The Ultimate Checklist to Marketing Your Book. If you like our show, let a fellow aspiring author know about it. We want to reach as many authors as possible to help them get along their path. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about how to overcome author imposter syndrome. Many authors experience this. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and it can be overcome. If you have a question about a recent episode you'd like to submit, visit juxtabook.com/yourpath-to-publish and click on the appropriate link to leave an audio recording of your question.
Hi, Zach. If I have a defined audience for a book I'm working on, how would you suggest I clearly understand my audience's problem? Do you have any tools or methods that you would suggest to really understand the problems without me just assuming I know what those problems are? Appreciate your help.
Hello, Todd. Thank you for your question. And I love that you want to go deeper into understanding your audience's challenge and problem and to test whether or not you really understand the challenge or problem you're trying to solve for with your book and expertise. We recommend to test this by asking those that you believe are currently struggling with the problem that you are trying to solve. And to do that, you need to know where they hang out. This is typically found in two different places. First, being within your own network, among your friends, family, and those you know at work. The second is online through looking at websites, social media, and different forums that align with your challenge or problem or the solutions for that challenge or problem. Here are 7 different ways that you can do this. First, surveys and questions. Create surveys or questions that target your audience and ask them about those pain points and challenges and what they would want in a book that helps them solve it. Second is interviews. Conduct one-on-one interviews with your potential readers within your network. These conversations will provide you with valuable insights into their needs and wants of your audience. Third is social media listening. So by jumping on social media, you'll be able to follow and understand and look at the comments that people are making around the problem that you're trying to address or solve. You can also run searches for keywords and hashtags to help you find the information you need more quickly. Fourth is competitor research. Find current books or content that has already been published that is similar to yours. Read the reviews and comments to identify what the recurring themes are and where people have questions and areas that they would want to go deeper into. Fifth is beta readers. If you have a draft, even if it's just a few chapters, ask a small group of people that you know to read it and give you feedback. Their insights will be valuable and also help you identify blind spots that you hadn't before considered. 6 is looking at online analytics, using websites such as Google Trends, Google Keyword Search, Answer the Public, or Uber Suggests are great ways to find out what people are typing in and what they're looking for around your challenge or problem. And then 7, going even deeper, looking at keywords and looking at Google keyword planners to identify common search queries that are related to your book's subject. In addition to all these suggestions, we always recommend to all of our authors that we coach that they get on Goodreads and Amazon book reviews to understand what people are saying about their competitor books. Look at BookBub, subscribe to the BookBub list, and find out what books people are promoting around the certain subject that you're looking at, as well as Library Thing. All of these sites offer additional information and insights into your readers and their problems, including what they wished specific books had more of. Extremely valuable information. So thank you for your question, Todd. And remember that understanding your reader's challenge will take effort. It might take some time, and I love that you want to go deeper. As you do this, you're going to learn more about the problem, and you'll be more equipped and aligned to write a better book than you would have previously. And you'll also be gathering valuable information that you'll be able to use in marketing your book, because that's where the first connection is going to come in at, is when you're marketing your book.
What are the criteria to know if it's better to publish with a traditional publisher or if it's better to self-publish through Amazon self-publishing or some other channel?
Thank you for the question. And it's a big decision. And I'm sure many authors have asked themselves, especially nowadays when the market is flooded with nearly 2 million books each year. And there are a lot of appealing things between the two options of traditional or self-publishing. But before I really dive into this, first consider why you're writing a book. Is it for fame, for fortune, for impact, or simply because you want to leave a legacy? The why behind this will guide your how and will have a huge impact on the path that you choose to pursue. So generally speaking, traditional publishing is harder to break into and takes longer for a book to be published and distributed. It's because that there's a limited amount and a limited capacity that each publisher is able to do. In addition, if they already have a book that's similar to yours, they may like it, but may not consider it because they already have that in their portfolio. Self-publishing is faster, but comes with different trade-offs and more responsibility on you as the author, but it can also be a great option. 4 different questions we always talk about with our authors center around control, royalties, distribution, and timing. So first is control. Traditional publishing means giving up quite a bit of the control. When you sell and hand over your manuscript to a traditional publisher, they typically take the reins on design, distribution, and on the IP. They purchased that from you and agreed to pay you either in advance or a royalty, or both. You'll have input onto the design, distribution, and the editing that they want to make, but you will not have full control. On the other hand, self-publishing means you're in the driver's seat, but you also own all the upfront costs. So you'll be paying for the design, getting everything set up for distribution, the conversion. If you're doing an audiobook, you'll be paying for that. So there is a lot more upfront costs. So really, to decide between the two, you need to ask yourself, are you okay with someone else driving, or do you want to take the wheel? Next, let's talk about money. Traditional publishers may offer an advance, but your royalties will be generally between 10 to 15%. And that's usually on the gross, on the profit, not on the retail price of your book. With self-publishing, you foot the bill initially, but you stand to earn more royalties per book. And that usually will still be off of what the net amount is, the profit on the book if you're distributing it through a retailer, but you'll still make more. So weigh your options. Is it about the money, or is there more to it? Third is distribution. Traditional publishers can get your book on the shelves at brick and mortar stores and have other relationships with a lot of other sales channels than you typically would self-publishing, and they handle all of the supply chain. However, the majority of books are sold online versus bought at stores. Self-publishing means doing much of the legwork yourself with the distribution, but you'll be able to, depending on your distribution path, have more options or just as many options as a traditional publisher, but you'll be able to have a lot more control over it. So ask yourself with distribution, do you have the resources and energy to manage that distribution? Last is timing. Traditional publishing is slow. It often takes a year or longer, and that may just be when your manuscript's done. If you have an offer from a publisher and you don't have the book fully written yet, it may take 2 years. It just depends on how quickly you can get things moving and the distribution cycles and seasonal cycles of the traditional publisher. Self-publishing can be a really quick setup. You could realistically get a book published digitally or print on demand within a few weeks or even a few days. Ask yourself, are you ready to wait, or do you really want to get your book out there as soon as possible? In the end, there's not really one right answer for an author. If an author really does want to get traditionally published, then stick with that, pursue that path, and you never know what will come your way. We recommend to the authors that we coach that why not try traditional publishing? You never know what kind of offer will come your way, and it could really help with fronting the costs of the book production and for your time to finish out the book. If the traditional publishing path doesn't work out, you can pursue self-publishing. Remember, all of this depends on your goals, what you want, and your resources. But this is your journey. Align it with the path that you want. Your book is just one chapter in your author journey. Think beyond the book as you craft your path. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for listening.